Hello there and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the apps that you can use Mastodon on iOS. Now, when it comes to using any app, no matter what social network it may be, you always want to try and use the best tool that you can or the tool that suits you so that you get the best experience out of it. In this video, I hope to talk to you about 4 different apps: the Mastodon official app, Metatext, Mercury, and Tooot, all of which are iOS, and I will talk about Android ones in another video. But I figured rather than having it all in one, split it out because some people might necessarily be interested in Android apps if they have an iPhone or an iPad. So that's what this video will be focusing on, but don't worry, an Android one is in the works. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as you can see, I have all the apps here that we're going to take a look at, and we'll go from left to right. So first up, we'll look at Metatext. So Metatext is the one that I currently use at the moment, and Metatext is probably one of the better one for features, but when I was doing research for this video, it surprisingly was not the best you could have. So it's nice and compact with everything that's on it. It's not busy, it doesn't overwhelm you. You can easily flick between home, local, and federated timelines. And you can easily compose things here. So you can attach a photo or a video. I can do a poll, but up to only 1, 2, 3, 4 options. This will be highlighted in another app in the future. I can change the privacy of this. So unlike the web version of Mastodon and the Mastodon app itself, you can easily tell what the privacy options are because it explains them here. So you have public, you've unlisted, you followers only, and you direct. So the bottom option will start a direct message conversation between you and that person or people that you tag in a toot. So if I wanted this, and if I wanted to just do a toot to Project Infant, I'd type that Project Infant, and I'd select that, and only people that are tagged will be able to see that post, and only Project Infant account can see that. Then you have, and I really like this feature, you have a content warning that you can add. So you can write your warning there. So you can say whether it's a trigger warning for a topic that might be found to be rather sensitive to some, or if there was something else that you wanted to hide, or if you were tweeting about a lot of things, or tooting in this case, and you wanted to give people a heads up as to what the post is about. So if people aren't interested in what you're sharing, they can just scroll on. That's what I like. And the final button here is the emoji button. So you obviously have the Apple emojis here. So you have all of them, and then you have the Mastodon emojis. Now they will differ depending on the instance that you join. So I have those 4 to choose from on my current instance. And then next thing over is the character count. So as it stands at the moment, after tagging Project Infant's account, I only have 473 characters that I can use left. And the following button after that is a thread. So I can start a thread and just keep going. And you can fit a lot of posts in there. I don't know off the top of my head how many you can fit in. I've only needed to do 3 posts in a thread, but there will be a bit of experimentation, whether it's me or the viewer, testing it out for themselves. The next thing I'd like to highlight is When doing a thread, one thing I'd recommend is when you're selecting a post, I would hit the privacy and change it to unlisted. Now, what this means is if you do a thread, it won't automatically show up in someone's timeline. The first post will, but any following ones won't clog up someone's timeline. So there'll be a indication to show this thread that someone can look at. And if you look, I'm on the second post, which I have as unlisted. If I go back onto the top post, that one's unlisted, but you can choose to do public or followers only or direct. So I'm going to cancel that. So as for the kind of menu as to what you can customize, you have my profile, then I can edit my profile. But if I do that, then it's going to take me to my browser to go and change my profile. I can't physically do it in the app itself. Then you have the account settings, so you can change your email or whatever you need to do. And then you have accounts, which I can tap here, and then I can switch to another account if I want to post as that account. Then I can do lists, favorites, bookmarks. I know people also like to know about the customization options on an app, and for this, it's okay, but again, when doing research, I found that there are better ones when it comes to customization. So I have my filters, so I can see how many filters I have, and I can add or remove them. I can choose between notification types, so what ones I want to get. So I can say I want to turn off any notifications about any favorites or likes on a post that I have. And I can see my block users, block domains. And then I can choose the app icon if I wanted to. I can change that. Appearance, so whether I want a dark or a light theme, so I can hit that and that will give me the dark one. I can just hit system. System will be whatever theme your phone uses. But if your phone was on the dark theme and you wanted this one to be in the light theme, you can just select that and that'll isolate that app to just be the light theme and everything else will be dark. And you can change a couple of other things. I won't go through all of them because, again, there'll be a certain element of discovery. So that one is Metatext. I would recommend it as it's the one I've used since fairly early days. I've been using Mastodon, which is only early November, so it's been a while, but this is one I personally use. But when I go through the other ones, you might think, okay, I might want to go for them. So definitely a good app to use if you are using Mastodon. Now that we've talked about Metatext, the next one I'm going to talk to you all about is Mercury. Now, I had only found out about this app when I was doing research for this video because I didn't know about it beforehand and the App Store had highlighted it. So I'm going to go into Mercury. And when you sign in with your instance, now I've already signed in, so I've gotten past the signing in part. It just asks you to enter in your instance and your password, just like normal. And then you just sign in and hey presto, and this is what you're greeted with first. So it looks busy, I know, but there is a setting that we can change to alter the look. So as you can tell, we have our home menu, our local timeline, our federated timeline, favorites, notifications, bookmarks, and drafts. So I'm going to go into my home. So I'm going to tap that and it buffers and then it shows up posts. So one thing that might strike you first is where are all the controls? And it's actually rather smart to me anyway. To see the controls and to do anything with a post on here, you tap it and then it shows up. So we can see that this post has no likes, 2 reblogs, no replies, and then we have this button, which I can tap to see the conversation happening on that post. So I can see if there's any replies or if there's a thread going on, I can read the rest of it. Then I can just press back to go out. Now, the big seller for me when it comes to Mercury is if I tap on 3 dots, the first option I'm greeted with is translate. Now, Metatext and the Mastodon app itself do not have this option. So this is a really big seller if you're interacting with tweets that are in a different language that you do not speak. So I can press translate and it pulls me into my browser, and then it brings me up the translate site that I can just put in the text. It usually autofills it in, but sometimes it can be a bit dodgy, not all the time, just sometimes. But here's one I translated earlier below, so I can tap on here, and then it tells me what the content of that post actually said. And then I can just hit the back arrow under the time to go back to Mercury. So now that we've taken a look at that, we can take a look at how you compose a post. So again, I know it looks busy, but it's still the same old thing. So from left to right, we have the camera icon, which I can tap if I wanted to take a picture and put it in. The next one is the gallery. So if I had a photo or video in my gallery that I wanted to put up, I can do that through there. Next one is the privacy options. So I can do public, private, unlisted, or direct. Next one is the content warning. So if I tap on that, I can pull up the spoiler or content warning text. Next one is the emoticons. So I can choose emojis to add in from this instance. Now, another feature this has is scheduling. So if I wanted to tweet, I keep saying tweet, excuse me. If I wanted a post to go out, I could choose when, or I can choose from one of the presets below. So I can choose, well, I want it to go out half an hour now, a day from now, or I can tap here and then choose when I want it to go out. The next button over is the poll. So as I mentioned earlier on Metatext, you only had the option of 4. Now, I was just playing around with this, but if I keep clicking add an option, add an option, add an option, it goes on for a while. So I can add more things to the poll this way. And then I can choose whether it's multiple choice, hide the totals, when it expires, and save or remove the poll. And then the last button is just to hide the keyboard, so you can see the whole post. So now we've taken a look at that, we'll have a look at the customization options. So in the settings, and as I said with Metatext, some people like to customize how their app looks. So I can go into theme, and I'm greeted with a lot of options. So I can do pink, green, purple, popcorn, 6 colors, solarized, black and white, Mercury, and scoops. But I tend to have it on default as I'm playing. But you have the options to customize that if you wish. And you have accessibility options here as well. So it provides voiceovers and other things. And one final thing is I can clear any cache that builds up in the app. And then the Explorer, I can see who is on my, so like who I've either searched for last or anything like that. And then I can tap on someone's profile. So I can go to David's profile, who's the admin of this instance that I'm a part of. And I can see his toots, his following, and who's following him. So I like the design of how the profile looks. I think it's better than Metatext and the Mastodon app. So for kind of the looks, it definitely gets it. But I think if I was to choose between Metatext and Mercury, I'd be going for Mercury because of the customization options that I can have when playing around with things, and also the translating option too. So it does have benefits to it. And while I'm here on my profile, I can see down here the schedule toots. So I can see what toots I've scheduled. As you can see at the moment, I do not have any, so there's nothing there. But you can go back and edit any toots and you can see when they're going out and that sort of thing. So yeah, personally, better than Metatext and better than Mastodon. But we've one more app, well, two more technically, to go through. So let's keep going. We're taking a look at Metatext and Mercury. The next one I want to show you is Tooot. Again, another one that I didn't hear about this time instead of before doing research. Mish Holman, who created the Genealogy directory, had actually told me about this one because Tooot is an Android app, although for some reason I don't think it's available at the moment. So it appears to be iOS only at the moment. Now that may change in the future. Just to disclose, this video is being recorded on the 22nd of November, so things may change between now and a week. But without further ado, let's get into Tooot. Now, Tooot is definitely one of the more simplistic looking apps, as you can tell. You have the search and you have the main timeline, which is signified by the house logo at the bottom left. And you have the Explore section, which is in the which is the globe, so you can see your federated and your local timeline. So that is kept separate to whatever you want to look at. The next part is the creation menu. Again, definitely more simplistic. So the first option is you can add in a photo or take a photo. Next one is the poll, then the privacy settings, then the content warning, finally the emoticons, and then the character count and the send button are at the top. Okay, so then, and this will be a more shorter one because this one is easier to see. Now, when I go to the profile, again, it's simplified and it's easy to see everything, but most of what you may need to alter is actually in this section of the app. So I can see that I have 43 toots, 216 accounts I'm following, and I have 481 followers. So I can tap on my toots and I can see a bit more details. So I can see all the links I added to my profile, when I joined, the media in any posts is always at the top, the posts. And again, you can reply to one, you can reblog one, or you can like one. So another thing I like about this is it's color coded. So if I tap on that, it so like goes red for like, and if I want to reblog, it goes. Now I can do public boost or on this boost. So I'm going to go public boost, and then that turns green. And then the final button on the right is the bookmark, so I can add to my bookmarks. And the next pane over is the toots and replies, so I can look at who I've been replying to, as well as my own tweets, so whether I boosted something or whether I have posted something myself. So then I can go to my bookmarks and see if I have any favorites, if I have any, change notification settings. But there was one little thing that I thought was really nice. If I go to the app settings, I can go to Tooot font size. So if people prefer to have larger font for each Tooot, I can grow it to XXL so people can see Toots easier while browsing the app. I thought this is a really nice feature, as I'm not aware that any of the other ones have it. So I'm going to go back to default. But that is the kind of main thing I like about this app. Again, if I was to go for one, it was going to be Metatext, but I'm still going for Mercury. Like after this video, I'll be using Mercury now because of the features. And I can go back, and that's all that really is for Tooot. So without further ado, let's finish the video up and look at the last one. And it's the official Mastodon app. It's the final part of the video. So now let's have a look at the official Mastodon app. So again, it sort of looks like Twitter, the interface. Out of all of them, though, I'd say Metatext looks similar to Twitter with regards to the interface. So this is an example of a post. So I have the reply, the reblog, and favorite, and then the share options. And then at the top on the three dots, I can tap on a post and I can see the details of it. And then if I tap three dots, I can choose whether I want to mute, whether I want to block, report, bookmark, or share. And then I can go back, and again, fairly simplistic timeline. If I go to compose, again, similar to the ones we've seen, we have the add an image, add a poll, the emoticons, the content warning, and the privacy of the post. And then I'm going to go out. And this one, I think, is just pretty basic. Like, there's nothing really that kind of screams, oh, well, this has a feature that the other ones don't. But one thing you may have noticed is that Metatext is the only one that seems to be able to link posts together to make a thread in one sitting. Now, to do a thread, all you need to do is just post one thing and then reply to that post with the second part, reply to the second part with the third, and so on and so forth. But I like the thing with Metatext where you can create a thread without posting it, so I can just do it all in one go, because some people might see only one post and then they're waiting for the next part and then it never appears, or they scroll past and then forget to look later. So that's mainly it for those. So out of these four, if I was to pick one, I would probably go with Mercury. I'd probably link it up with Mercury and Metatext, because with Mercury, you know, you have the translator and you have the kind of more poll options. With Metatext, it's similar to Twitter. So if people like the Twitter interface, they can go there and use that as an app to look through Mastodon while still feeling like you're using Twitter. So I'd say out of all of them, Mercury wins that one for me. So I hope that helped. I am going to be working on an Android one in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I shall see you next time. Bye, everyone.